Hannah Neeleman has been brainwashed. It may seem that she chose the tradwife lifestyle herself, but she actually did not have a choice. And here's why. She is a victim of Mormon indoctrination. So how did her past influence her present choices? Hannah was raised in a large Mormon family in Springdale, Utah, near Zion National Park. With 8 siblings, she grew up in a society where Mormon women are taught to prepare for marriage and family life. For Daniel and I, our priority in life is God and family. Everything else comes second. Naturally, this upbringing forcefully imprinted into her the values and expectations of traditional gender roles, sadly limiting her options in life. For example, she was pressured into sacrificing her dancing career to live on a farm because her husband wanted so. I was going to be a ballerina. I was a good ballerina, but I knew that when I started to have kids, my life would start to look different. For now, I'm doing what I love most, being a mother, wife, a businesswoman, a farmer, a lover of Jesus, and making meals from scratch. Tragic, right? Think about it. Growing up in such a large family, Hannah was no stranger to the responsibilities of caring for siblings and managing household chores. We have 7 children. I'm pregnant with our 8th. And Daniel and I are both one of 9 kids. The pressure to have many children is a cornerstone of Mormon doctrine. Hannah has fully embraced this belief, seeing it as her divine duty. It's very much a matter of prayer for me, she says. I'm like, God, is it time to bring another one to the earth? And I've never been told no. This belief is deeply rooted in their upbringing. I have 7 brothers, Daniel has 7 sisters, and it was fate. Mom always told us whoever has the most kids will get the grand piano. The LDS Church reinforces this ideology, stating that having children is a crucial part of Heavenly Father's plan. When a child is born to a husband and wife, they are fulfilling part of our Heavenly Father's plan to bring children to earth. For Hannah, this indoctrination means that her worth and duty are tied to her ability to bear children. It is clear that her large family is not just a personal choice, but a manifestation of the expectations imposed upon her from a young age. Do you see how these family expectations might have influenced Hannah's choices? This is not all. According to Mormonism, women are to reject the secular values of individuality and fully devote themselves to the eternal women's roles of marriage, motherhood, and submissiveness. While some say that Hannah Neeleman is not simply a wife who serves her husband but has a business of her own, what exactly does she sell? She sells her husband's products. She has a business with her husband, not on her own. And this is because Mormon men do not want their women to be fully independent. The fact that the only reason there's millions of eyes on the farm is because of her social media, and yet he's the sole person on all the business ownership docs says a lot. It certainly doesn't say co-CEOs. He needs to build another small barn on all that land for a studio. It's ridiculous. Next, at just 21, Hannah married Daniel Neeleman, son of airline mogul David Neeleman, only 3 months after meeting him. I was ready to go. I was like, okay, sign me up. And I was thinking like, let's get married. But she wouldn't go on a date with me for 6 months. However, unlike Daniel, who was so eager to get married, Hannah was not ready. No, back then I was kind of like, maybe we should just date a year, and I finished school and whatever. Daniel was like, it's not gonna work, we gotta get married now. Daniel. So we dated for a month, we got engaged and married a month later. It seems like Daniel was pressuring Hannah into marrying so early. Their hasty engagement and marriage once again exposes the extreme pressures and expectations imposed on Mormons to succeed in their duty. You see, in the Mormon community, marriage is not just a personal milestone, but a religious duty. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints teaches that marriage and family are central to God's plan, emphasizing the importance of marrying young and having children. For Hannah and Daniel, their whirlwind romance seems to be heavily influenced by these doctrinal teachings. To her 9.8 million Instagram followers and her 9.5 million TikTok fans, Neeleman appears to be the picture-perfect housewife. She spends her days baking cookies, making sourdough bread with freshly laid hen eggs, and tending to her 8 children. But how much of it was genuinely her choice, since she was truly passionate about something else? In the Sunday Times article, Hannah talked about her dream of becoming a ballerina. My goal was New York City. I left home at 17 and I was so excited to get there. I just loved that energy. And I was going to be a ballerina. I was a good ballerina, she said. But I knew that when I started to have kids, my life would start to look different. She loved dancing so much but had to set aside those ambitions to start a family. The Ballerina Farm profile by the Sunday Times is so sad, wrote one user. The way people idolize their tradwife content, when in reality it's just a broken, exhausted woman who has no say with a Mormon husband who calls all the shots. Unfortunately, Hannah remains oblivious to the harmful reality of her lifestyle, trapped in a situation beyond her understanding. But why? In the interview, it was pretty evident that she is being restricted and oppressed by her husband. For example, he gave her an egg apron for her birthday when she actually dreamed of going on a trip to Greece. Don't forget that he is a millionaire, and an egg apron as a gift seems pathetic. Moreover, she gave birth to 8 children in the span of 12 years with absolutely no medical help. The only time she gave birth with an epidural was when her husband was absent. I was 2 weeks overdue, and Daniel wasn't with me, so I got an epidural, and it was an amazing experience. Also, her husband was out of the room when she shared this detail in a lowered voice. She also raised the children completely on her own because her husband didn't want nannies in the house. She works extremely hard to the point where she is so ill from exhaustion that she can't get out of bed for a week. I love how he gives her absolutely no choice for the things that she wants. She deserves to be happy and have her say. She seems so sad. Daniel wanted to live in the great western wilds, so they did. He wanted to farm, so they do. He likes date nights once a week, so they go. He didn't want nannies in the house, so there aren't any. The only space earmarked to be Neeleman's own, a small barn she wanted to convert into a ballet studio, ended up becoming the kids' schoolroom. I hope you get to dance again. More than that, I hope no one was angry at you for admitting to an epidural. If you are working so hard for your family to the point of bedridden exhaustion for a week, there is a huge problem. However, Hannah responded defending her family and lifestyle, stating she is fully content and happy. This raises a serious question. Why is such a restrictive and oppressive lifestyle absolutely normal for Hannah?
A couple of weeks ago, we had a reporter come into our home to learn more about our family and business. We thought the interview went really well, very similar to the dozens of interviews we had done in recent memory. We were taken back, however, when we saw the printed article, which shocked us and shocked the world by being an attack on our family and my marriage. Nothing we said in the interview implied this conclusion, which leads me to believe the angle taken was predetermined. We are co-parents, co-CEOs, co-diaper changers, kitchen cleaners, and decision makers. We are one. And I love him more today than I did 13 years ago. We have many dreams still to accomplish, but for now I'm doing what I love most, being a mother, wife, a businesswoman, a farmer, a lover of Jesus, and making meals from scratch.
Online users rushed to her defense, arguing that she is choosing this life. The ballerina farm lady isn't a moron. She's fully capable of making choices and has never been held hostage. She's fulfilled and joyful. The way people hate on Ballerina Farm and Nara Smith is so irritating, like, if a woman chooses the traditional life, cooking and cleaning for their families, it's their choice. People want them to be unhappy so bad, and it's weird. Her response to criticism emphasizes happiness and fulfillment in her lifestyle. However, is this contentment a genuine choice or a deeply ingrained belief? You see, consent only happens when you fully understand the choices that are made available. However, Hannah has been brainwashed into believing that her lifestyle and the actions of her husband are right. This can be attributed to her upbringing, where traditional values were deeply ingrained. She was raised to believe that her primary role is to support her husband and nurture her family. Hannah may not perceive her lifestyle as oppressive. She defends her choices, attributing her happiness to fulfilling her duties as a wife and mother. Did you know that the LDS Church uses mind control techniques to indoctrinate its members? And here is why. Stephen Hassan's book, Combating Cult Mind Control, exposes how certain religions effectively use mind control. His BITE model categorizes these behaviors into 4 domains: behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. And guess what? Mormonism falls under all of these 4 domains. Lots of red here, and lots of truth as well. I haven't been to an LDS church in such a long time, yet all of these red-orange points are spot on, as my memory recalls. I felt my blood pressure rising from just reading these. Behavior control involves regulating individuals' physical reality, including their environment, work, and interactions. For Hannah, this means adhering to the lifestyle expected of a Mormon woman. Information control restricts access to non-sanctioned information and promotes an us versus them mentality. Thought control requires members to adopt the group's doctrine as truth, often discouraging critical thinking. Emotional control manipulates feelings, often through guilt and fear, to reinforce loyalty and compliance. In Hannah's case, it is clear that these methods may have subtly shaped her acceptance of traditional roles and her belief that her lifestyle is the best choice. Understanding these techniques helps explain why she might feel content in a role that others perceive as restrictive. However, this is not all. It gets worse. For families like the Neelemans, the church's influence is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it provides a strong community and a clear framework for living. On the other, it imposes strict rules and expectations that can be difficult to challenge. How do these controversies impact families like the Neelemans? What do you think? Don't forget to subscribe and comment down your view below. Until next time.